What's going on, everybody? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang.
And that's you.
For being in here, being involved, and being active on this YouTube channel. Well, welcome back to Monday Night Roski, the longest running episodic program and live stream here on YouTube. You in here with the Bruce Wayne of this ish, the King of Kings, the King of Content, and the Speaker of Truth, yours truly, the Notorious One, aka Mr. Coachellini, better known as the Prognosticator, Coach Thomas. And you're in the Desert Storm bunker with none other than EWF. That is every woman's fantasy. But you can call me CGA, C God Allah, and I be the 14-time demonetized champion of YouTube. The voice of reason is here. We got a great show for you today. Today, lined up why Coochie Commies are always mad at you ninjas for not following their program of and playing by the game, playing the game by their rules of getting the coochie. All right, yes, basically the coochie communism. We're going to go over this. We might go over different forms of how people are running their government. We're going to show you the process that people go through. We're going to wing it, and we're going to give you the idea of what communism, these communists are with the coochie, of how they get mad at you for not running the game like they run it. All right, Stream Element Bot is in here ready to go. All right, anyway, what is going on there? All right, we don't want that one up there. All right, I see that. It's running. They want me to customize it. All right, I see what's going on here. I hope y'all niggas on screen. All right, but anyway, we got a great show for you today. We're going to activate the Mitches, and the Mitches are going to be mad in here 100%. But to contribute to today's show, $ the Notorious CGA on the Cash App, Venmo, Coach Greg Adams TV, PayPal is PayPal.me/Coach Greg Adams, and that be near the top of the description box on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And you can super chat by clicking the link on the top of the live chat. New world order. On the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. All right, we got a great show for you lined up today. It's going to be a good show. We're going to have Straggle and Sniggle Theater. Chris Rock is going to make an appearance. The legendary Chris Rock is going to make an appearance along with Nia Long. All right, Nia Long. She's going to make an appearance on today's show. We also have a woman that says she charges her husband $4,000 a month, almost $5,000 a month to be a stay-at-home mom. Yes. For you guys who keep saying you get it for free, we have a husband that pays almost $5,000 a month for his stay-at-home wife to be a stay-at-home mom. Yes, and guys, man, the dating marketplace is monetized. And wait till you see the woman. Wait till you see the woman. I mean, he could have spent this money at the JUCO, but yeah. All right. We're going to show you that. But anyway, let me get to the contributors to today's show. How about we do that? Did I get our brother here, Hombre Lobo, in here donating with the great support as the stream went off? And yeah, shout out to you. I appreciate you. And he also said, hey, Coach, could you elaborate more on your take about the running statement that Kenya is the best country to live in to escape Trumpism and to build generational wealth, or to find a good quality black woman suitable for marriage? All right, I heard that was brought up in my chat. All right, that was brought up in my chat. Who brought that up? Oh, okay, you brought that up. Kenya. All right, I heard there is a content creator that I know is in Kenya right now. All right, the content creator's in Kenya. Let me see here. The content creators is Austin Holloman. Let me see what Kenyan women look like. You know what I mean? Kenyan women. Let's see what they look like. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Uh-huh. Okay, let me see what we got here. Let me see what we got here. I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. All right, we got some Kenyan sisters on here. Sister, you been on my mind. All right, sister, Stream Element by going ham in here. All right, sister, you been on my mind. All right, are we going for Kenyan women? Let me see if we can get the Kenyan women in here. Let's get them up on the screen for you guys right here. Is this what y'all want? Generational wealth, the Kenyan women, the women of Kenya. Is this what we want right here? I'm gonna say, hold on for a second. All right, hold on, not so fast. All right, not so fast. I'm gonna just go ahead and say maybe, maybe not. All right, maybe, maybe not. Is that what y'all want? It might be some of y'all's type right there. All right, somebody says, watch out for the AIDS. I think that's AI. I think that's AI. Maybe that's possibly AI. All right, maybe not. All right, maybe not. I don't know what that is right there. I'm going to pass. There's some good ones. I know the good people of Kenya, they like, brother, them day. Brother, them day. All right, brother. Brother, Coach Greg Adams, brother. All right, them niggas trying to tell me right now, brother, you got to come here and see the sisters, brother. But there's something about brothers like, you know.
Where the white women at?
Oh, Jesus. That's unfair. That's completely unfair. Hey, listen, it has nothing to do with white women.
Hey, where are the white women at?
All right. Do they have white women in Kenya? Do they have white women in brother? All right, let me find another pictures there. But brother, all right, let me see what we got here. The sisters. There's a brother that is on YouTube, and I can't think of his name, but I do want to give him credit. Okay, I see a couple of sisters here. All right, let me see what we got. Sister, you been on my Kenyan mind. Sister, there's a couple of them Sister Dim Days in there. Come here, Sister Dim Day. All right, when I was on a cruise, they had a beautiful, beautiful sister on this cruise. She was my massage. She gave me a massage on my cruise. And I cannot remember where she was from. I think she was from Botswana or Mozambique. All right. Oh, beautiful chocolatey sister. She had a name. She had one of them African names like Cheapo. All right. Cheapo. You know how them Africans got them funny sounding ass names. I was like, is that a name or is that a nickname? Cheapo. All right, Sister Cheapo. Sister Cheapo, you been on my mind. She had a soft booty, looking at a soft booty African. Them Africans be having booty, booty. All right, I don't know, man. I'm not a booty man like that. All right, but Cheapo was her name. Man, she was a sweet, sweet sister, boy. She had the high cheekbones, you know, just fat, you know. You know, she wasn't fat like overweight, obese fat. She was African thick fat. And she was a sweet sister, boy, I tell you. She had the Wakanda haircut, bald. Like these sister right here, she had that Wakanda shit going on with the juices and berry. I can imagine her smothering me all with her cheapo boohoo tea. She was a wonderful woman, man. Wonderful, sweet, sweet African sister. All right, I think African-American women have done black men a disservice for the most part, because now, you know what I mean, with our experience with African-American women, you know what I mean? Once you have like a bad experience with sisters here, it's hard to go overseas. You always look at black women like, all right, waiting for them to crash out and shit, waiting for them to be like, I'm strong and independent. You know what I mean? Right. So when you go to Africa, you can't even appreciate them. You looking at these bitches like on guard. You know what I mean? You looking like, all right, bitch, you gonna be like these black bitches here. And then when you get over there, you be like, oh, all right. Sweet African cheapo, sister. Sister, they be smiling and shit, showing all they pretty white teeth.
Niggas always gotta show they teeth.
Showing all they pretty white teeth. You know what I mean? It's the sisters, the African sisters with the wigs I can't fuck with, though. All right, I can't fuck with the wigs. All right, I'm anti-wig. I know, man. I'll never do it. I can't do it, man. I cannot take a woman wearing a wig seriously. That's my thing, sisters. If you're a fan of mine and you wear a wig, fine. But I cannot do the wig thing. It is a no-go. All right? It is a no-go. I just can't deal with them with the wig on and the wig off. You know what I mean? Then I'm looking at you like, bitch, your head is bald under there. You know what I mean? Got the Allen Iverson braid. I cannot do wigs. Not even barely on white girls. When white girls wear wigs, I'm like, what are you doing? This is a damn thing. And hair extensions. I'm even that bad. Hair extensions on white girls. I'll be like, nah. All right. Put your bald and Hulk Hogan shit out here. Put your Hulk Hogan shit out here. You know, because white girls be balding. White girls be balding like Hulk Hogan. You know, you can't really see it because they be quaffing their hair up in the morning and shit. But if you get it wet, like you know what I mean, they jump out the shower, or you get them, you know what I mean, you start, you know, they over you and you standing over them and you start pulling their ponytail back, you start seeing their hair thinning out like Hulk Hogan. You be like, uh-oh. All right. So they need extensions to fluff their shit up too, because they hair thin as a, they hair super duper thin. All right. So anyway, they be have to wear the bandana. All right, like Hulk Hogan. All right, especially women like that are from, like, you know, they have thin fair hair, so it's like white blondish. They hair be thinning out up there at the top. You can't see it though. That's why they be having to wear headbands and bandanas sometimes. All right, brother. New world order. All right, you got to watch out, sisters out there. But I know people are like, Coach, look at your hairline, brother. Look at it. All right, I got a chocolate milk dudded head. It's a perfect head. The only way it's not perfect is these headphones over 8 years, damn near a decade wearing headphones straight. I put a dent in my head. All right, but maybe if I work on it, it'll just flatten it out back there. All right, anyway, shout out to our brother there. I don't know, man. I haven't been to Kenya, so I can't tell you. Shout out to Gully, says Chris Rock said that a wedding is made for a woman, not a man. That's why women wear white and men wear black. LOL. Shout out to you, Coach. Shout out to Chris Rock, and shout out to LOM, the Lion of MGTOW, who used to say, and a lot of people have said, but he used to say it. I used to hear him say it a lot. He said, a wedding is nothing but a funeral with cake. Damn. A wedding is nothing but a funeral with cake. All right. You're going there to die. All right. Yeah. Oh, man. Shout out to our brother. It is our brother down in the NYC. He says, please tell me I'm not crazy for trying to convince my 50-year-old cousin not to marry a 34-year-old pog this weekend. Told him the facts. He said, I told him the facts. He won't listen. Free agent lifestyle. For life. Poggy, did you say? All right. Okay. Your 50-year-old cousin is marrying a 34-year-old poggy. All right, man. Dudes be down bad out here, brother. Shout out to our down NY agent out here. Oh, man. New York. He want that poggy. The thick time. Marrying up a poggy. That's a co-sponsorship. I'm rich, man. Let me tell you something about pogs. All right. Even Justin Henderson, Joshua Henderson. Pogs will put it on you, man. Pogs will put that thing on you. All right. So that's the thing about these poggies. You know, we talk shit about them. My whole thing is y'all be parading around poggies. Like, y'all be parading them around. And you really don't want to parade them around, but you forced to. Because a poggy will put it on you. Ninjas and pogs go together like a moth to a flame. But a poggy will put it on your ass, bruh. They do it all. All right. There's a knot, and poggies will put it on you. So if a brother hasn't had a good poggy and he gets a poggy, you will be making bacon. All right. You will be making bacon. They'll put that thing on you. They'll squish it and squeeze it. It'll put the grippy on you. They'll squirt on you. All that. All right. And you be looking at pig bacon skin. All right. You be looking at pig fatbacks. Nondescript booties. You know what I mean? You be looking and going, wow, this is enjoyable. But, look at this poggy. And if a brother hasn't had a good pog, put it on him. Because I've had a lot of pogs. I mean, I've had lots. This is not they not hard to find on the West Coast. on the West Coast. But a good poggy, if you haven't been used to poggies and they put it on you, you just be making bacon. They super duper nasty. They gonna put that thing on you. Yes, it's just bad news for you. So then you walking around looking at this poggy girl with you. You know what I mean? And now you parading a pog around. Yep, they be sweating bacon grease, all of that. It'd be a mess. Face turning bright pink and red. All right, whole chest all red. No poggies will put it on you. All right. The problem is that their downside is bad. Like over time, they're gonna gain like 75 pounds overnight. So how they are, you're like, I guess it ain't that bad. She's going to gain 75 pounds in a year. And if she gets pregnant, she'll blimp up to 150 pounds plus. Like she'll go up plus 150. And now you're not dealing with a pog. You're dealing with a supersized Big Mac. All right? Supersized big. Now you just got a gigantic woman. All right? They don't slim up. They get bigger and bigger. I mean, the best thing that can happen to them is they somehow keep their stomach and their waistline fit. All right. And dude, their shelf life is super duper short. He said, pog the hog. Their waistline is super duper short, small. All right. They're going to look good for about T-8 months. When they get comfortable, their feet will start plumping up. All right. And it's going to look like a busted Pillsbury biscuit can. Them feet going to get swollen. Cankles going to cankle up. Knees going to start hurting. And then now you got to carry that thing around. They lazy already. That's how they got that way. They lazy. So when they get with you, when you cuff them up, laziness will ensue, and she going to blimp. She going to be a blimper. And if you knock her up, she going to gain easily 85, 90, or 100 pounds. All right? And she ain't losing it at all. She not going to lose it. So if you get you a poggy and she about 25, she going to be, you're going to be like, I got me one, coach. Thick white woman, big lady white woman. All right, 35 is going to be another story. Like a busted Pillsbury biscuit can. All right, shout out to our brother NYC and down there in the NYC. LL Cool C is in the building. All right, appreciate you, brothers. That's it. That's the thing about it. That's the thing about it, man. They get bigger. Women typically get bigger. They only really get smaller is that if they're really wanting to get small or when they get hella old. When they get old, they're going to lose a lot of that weight. But it'll be hanging off of them. Macaroni Tony, that 1K per Cornish hen don't sound so bad when Gophers charge the 4.5. The what is it? All right. I can't remember the 1K. It slips my mind. It slips in my mind. I'm trying to figure out which one it was. It's been a long day. And Dark Side Foundation, coach, I made it to second interview for the AI engineer, Yob. He says, wish me luck. He says, I hope I can start making money soon so I can get back on locals. I miss you guys. Slap these Mitches Train Yang style. Train Yang. All right. Slap them like a poggy likes to get slapped on the fanny. All right. Yes, indeed. Train Yang style. Train Congratulations for making it to the second stage of your interviews. Let's go. Let's keep winning. You're grinding. You're climbing. Upward mobility. You're getting after it. Congratulations. Sister said, never get fat. That's the problem, man. That's a mission impossible when it comes to most people, especially in America. American people, you don't realize how fat we are, man. We are a fat culture. And I'm old enough to remember when people weren't fat like that. People used to be chubby. And we used to laugh at them, call them chili dog and Big Mac. You know what I mean? And snacks. We used to call them, hey, snacks. You know, you see them. And they was just chubby. They had that little baby fat. Come here, snacks. Hey, chili dog, get over here. But now people just fat for no reason, man. And listen, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. I'm saying this as a professional. And if you haven't left the continental United States of America, you don't realize, man, America is fat. It's like sloppy fat, like unreasonably flat, like just no reason. No reason. And yes, the American South, the southern United States of America, not South America, the southern United States of America, got some of the fattest people. Like, it is ridiculous, man. When I went to Dallas, and I went and stayed at the Great Wolf Lodge because my kids wanted to stay there. It ended up being a train wreck, just by the way. And this Great Wolf Lodge had to be the closest Great Wolf Lodge to Louisiana and Kentucky and Texas. So I'm seeing Louisiana license plates. I'm seeing everybody. I walk into that Great Wolf Lodge, and I'm looking at these cankles and fat. I mean, talking about the men fat, the women fat, the couples are fat. They just big, bruh. I'm like, look at these people, bruh. Just big, tree trunk legs. People running around on scooters and walkers, and they ain't even in their 50s. They like barely 5 years older than me. Walkers, just giants. All right, and I'm like, look at all these goddamn brisket eating, pork ribs and pork rind eating. These are some biggins. Biggins. Just big for no reason. Kids just walking around big, just swollen. I'm like, wow. And people don't realize that, like, people think this is normal because that's what you see around you. Go to another country and then come back to America. You're going to get shocked. All you have to do is go to another country, then come back to the airport. Just come back to the airport and be like when you go through customs and you get through and now you in the United States side, you're going to be like, whew. And just young girls, you're going to just watch the young girls walking. Just, you're going to just look at the young women and go, damn. They don't even realize they just fat. Like this, the young girls just going to be fat. You like, damn, bro, you already 16, 19, 22, just. And then they looking at me like, I'm like, dude, I just came back from all flatbacks. I just came back from Europe. Ain't not that many people fat there. They riding bikes, walking. They on that grind, right? You come back to America, people just. Greasy ass lips. All right, so anyway, look, I'm not fat. You're shaming us. I'm not shaming you, man. America is pathetic when it comes to health. And what they do is you know who they is. New world order. What they do is they feed you all of this horrible food. I don't want to get on it because new world order. They feed you the most ridiculous food. They give you the most ridiculous food, and then your cure is in the what? Prescription medication. And they got y'all defeated. You know, I don't know why it is. Y'all all want to claim y'all got ADD, ADHD. Y'all got this, thyroid, liver, spleen, kidney disorder. You got this, you got that, hyperthyroid disease. They already, and so then they cure you and you live off pills. By the way, this was in Wall-E. Your GMO food, processed meat, snacks, cardboard snacks. And I'm guilty of this too. I just don't have a big appetite, so that saves me. Eating these large proportion meals when you go out. I mean, these dudes, you go to a restaurant, they just throw food at you and be like, damn. And then y'all be like, you got to clean your plate. No, you don't have to eat all that shit. You don't have to eat all that. Don't get off the table until you clean your plate. That's why y'all fat. You don't have to eat all that food. Them portions are 3 times. Those are 3 serving sizes. And it ain't even the best serving sizes. They just gave you 3 plates of trash, 3 serving sizes of garbage. All right. And then you go get your cardboard foods. All right. You go to Costco and you load up. I'm going to get a whole 4 boxes of Cheez-Its. I can't name brands because they're going to be mad at me. Fast food eating ass. GMO eating snacky ass niggas, you know. It's crazy, man. And somebody said this, majority of ingredients in America are banned in other countries. You're going to find that out. Go travel. Free agent lifestyle for life. Go over there and find a store that sells all of that goddamn candy that I love. You can't find the candy that I love in another country. You can't even find it. Starburst, Skittles, Mike and Ike's, Jolly Joe's, Boston Baked Beans. All right. You can't even find it there, bro. Potato chips, you can't even find it. And if you find it and you get some, it don't even taste the same. It tastes completely different. That's if you can find it. All right. That's it. But you'll find it every now and then. You'll be like, oh, shit. All right, I got some. And then you'll open it up. Yep. You'll open it up and you'll eat it. You'll be like, yep, the Snickers don't even taste the same. You'd be like, oh, finally, goddamn Snickers. And you'll eat it. You're like, oh, what the fuck? What is this shit? So they don't even sell that shit over there. All right, that's how you know. All right, anyway.
New world order.
EJ. Anyway, bruh, let's get into this, man. Straggle and Sniggle Theater.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
Straggle and Sniggle. Okay, let's get into it. We got Straggle and Sniggle Theater. We got a couple of videos that we need to show you. Then, what do we got here? Straggle and Sniggle Theater. We got the banner up right here. Here we go right here. We listen and we don't judge, which we told you. This is just a kind of female way to dodge accountability. So this is a game that they play to be able to tell the most raunchiest shit that they've done, but not be judged upon it. And so they can dodge accountability. Remember, we listen, but we don't judge. So now we have some jokes. Worst confessions on we listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we don't judge. Y'all scared? I got kids by my uncle. All 3 are his, and my baby daddy think the kids is his. And I tell everybody I don't like men, so I tell them my kids are my nieces and nephews.
Oh, the humanity.
Yeah, it gets bad out there when you're playing with sisters, man, because sisters, man, unfortunately, they deal with a lot of trauma. They deal with a lot of trauma. That's why they say, I've been going through a lot. What does that mean? All right, what do you mean you've been going through a lot? They won't tell you.
What that mean?
All right, but yeah, they'll be having babies by their uncles. Of course, unfortunately, sometimes they're minors. Right? Sometimes they are minors when they have babies by their uncles. All right, when they have teenage pregnancy. Who got you pregnant? They'll blame it on Glocktavius, and it's really the uncle. Uncle knocked them the fuck up. All right, and then, yes. All right, sisters be going through this type of traumatic shit. They do. All right, but yeah.
We listen and we don't judge. Y'all scared? I got kids by my uncle. All 3 are his, and my baby daddy think the kids is his.
Yeah, that happens, man. It happens. And they be dude, there was a story of a sister that had an affair with her uncle. All right. Remember I played this? God dang, bro. I've been on YouTube so long. There was this black woman that had an affair with her uncle, but she was, damn, I can't remember. She wasn't the blood niece, but she was like, her aunt was the blood. But her uncle, who married into the family, but had been married into the family, remember the sister came over there dressed a certain way? I broke this video down years ago. I can't even tell you when I broke this down. But then the aunt was suspect of the young niece. Yeah, remember that shit? Anyway, yeah, that shit happens in the hood. That shit happens in Indianapolis. But he wasn't the blood uncle. He was married in. She was related to the aunt, but she kept coming over to the uncle's house. And I kept telling you back in the day, that was get him daddy season.
Get him, daddy.
That was get him daddy season, man. I was like, nah, uncle been paying them bills. Uncle been paying them rent, and he been getting a little bit of that. I need to go back to my old segments and just clip them shits. I need to go back to my old segments, my old live streams, and start clipping them, bro, because I'm pretty sure there's some legendary shit in there. All right, but I remember breaking the video down. That is very common in the black community and in the Mexican community. Shout out to the Latino communities. And in the trailer park trash communities. And in the elite white communities. Every now and then, you'll have some shit like this too. All right, yeah, this is unfortunately a very common thing in America. All right, anyway, Straggle and Sniggle Theater, we have coming up next. We have an old man here, all right? We got an old man out here. There he is right there. These old senior communities, you see this right here. And, most of these are skits, so it is what it is. Maybe, maybe not. But check this out right here. All right, check this out right here. Oh, what happened? All right, let me see something. Oh, I see what happened. All right, I got stream elements. My stream element bot ain't playing with y'all niggas. All right, here it is right here. We have an old folks community here, and if you could take a look, we have a Tina Turner. You know what happens? They bring these acts in from their era, and they're bringing the Temptations and the Four Top, performers, and the Elvis and the Michael Jackson and the Tina Turner to these old folks community. And if you take a look at this brother right here in the wheelchair with the teal pants and the brown sweatshirt, the Fat Albert sweatshirt, take a look at this brother, and he is...
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir, brother. All right, he like, girl, do not come around here too close to me, girl. Do not come up over here close, because she's singing away in these other niggas, all right, and these dudes over there with no teeth, and they about to die. He like, girl, I think I will put that thing on you. I will put that thing on you.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
All right, so let's take a look at what happened here at the old folks home and see CGA in operation here. All right, let's see. This is going to be me in 32 years. Here we go right here. Let's see if I can play the music. We don't need the music. I'm going to get a copyright. Oh, she pointing at that ninja. Uh-oh. He like, bring that thing. Oh, no. Oh, sir.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, my.
Hey, yo, chill, son. Hey, yo.
He like, girl, I will put a hurting on your ass. Look at him. He's starving his ass off. CGA in 32 years for sure when I'm in my 80s. Definitely will like, girl, don't play with me over here. Nigga, I ain't one of these other niggas. I'll cake some Niagara. And look at the nurses on the side. They're like, okay. Yeah, he been a nasty nigga for a long time.
Oh, that's nasty.
He been a nasty nigga to them nurses. Them nurses know. Them, look at the other dudes. They gone already. All right, Undertaker ready to come get him. All right, Undertaker. But look at him. He like, psh, don't play with me. I'm a grown-ass man. I've been a grown-ass man. Yeah, oh, my goodness, sir.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
All right, this nigga can't even walk, and he out here trying to put it on her. Look at this ninja right here.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir, brother.
He like, you know what I used to do to girls in Vietnam? You know what I used to do to girls in Vietnam? I used to fold them little linglings up and put them in my pocket.
What kind of fuck you give me?
He got 62 children in the Philippines in his tour of duty. He has 62 children in the Philippines. He is not playing with you people. This ninja know what he doing. All right, but be careful out here, gentlemen. It's a evil, evil world out here. Ladies, be careful. Never think an old man is just a sweet old man. All right. Yes, and he used to be Deacon Jack Clapcheeks. He used to be Deacon Clapcheeks. He used to be Deacon Clapcheeks at the church for about 35 years. And he clapped up a lot of sisters that look like this up at the church. Up at the church. All right, what do we got here? We have a terrible Tesla driver. Ladies and gentlemen, why I don't like relationships, all right? You guys know that. All right, I like situationships and short-term relationships. That's fine. Long-term relationships, not so much. All right, here we go. Terrible Tesla driver. Here's the volume. You got to listen more than anything. Here we go.
Oh! Honk, babe, honk!
What the fuck is he doing?
He's sleeping, babe! Stop! He probably fell asleep or something.
What?
He's not paying attention. Stop honking him. You're causing trouble, honey. He probably just didn't think. He even crashed himself. We didn't do anything to him.
I know. I'm not saying we did.
Right when you know you're gonna hit someone, honey, you have to honk. You get out the
Well, I
way.
wasn't gonna hit him. I was in
but
that
still.
space.
Hold up, gentlemen. This is why I ain't in relationships right here.
Straight jacket.
All right, so we have a Tesla that seems to be maybe on autopilot. I'm not sure. Maybe the driver fell asleep. I'm not sure what's going on, as you can see. But did you hear the wife in the car? Did you hear the wife? Ladies, you know, here's the thing. A lot of us get frazzled. You know, I get frazzled sometimes and anxious, and when things bother me or things that don't go expected, you know, everybody gets frazzled. But you got the backseat driver over here. You have the passenger, the woman. Okay, I want you to go back. I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna play the woman again. Now, by the time, remember, I told you to listen. This is what married men deal with. This is what men in relationships deal with. So she's frazzled. Obviously, they almost got into a collision. But when women get frazzled, they jabberjaw. They jabberjaw. They start to not make sense, and then they're trying to make sense and clean it up, but they didn't already dug a hole. And this is why I tell women at the most time, the best thing you can do is silence, you fool. All right, just shut up. Just shut up. But she's in hysterics. She's in hysterics. She's hysterical. And now she done gone crazy. So let me rewind it. You heard her saying, stop honking. But let's rewind it to the beginning. Let's rewind it to the beginning. Ladies, this is you. Listen to what she says at the very beginning.
Honk, babe, honk!
All right, y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play it again, just so you can hear it. Ladies, take this L. Let's hear it again.
Honk, babe, honk!
What the fuck is he
He's
doing?
sleeping, babe! Stop!
See, this is why I told you, you got to understand what you're dealing with. They can switch like this. And then when they switch, they're right. They weren't wrong initially. They just switched and changed their mind. She told him to honk. Then told him that he shouldn't honk in these situations. Bruh. And then scolded him and proceeded to continue to scold him as to why not honk. Let's play it all the way through. She told him to honk. Honk, babe, honk. And then he honked again. She said, stop. And then she said, this is why you don't honk when you're about to crash. All right, let me continue here. Let me go ahead and show you. Dealing with them, man, I tell you, man, it's like dealing with a child. All right. Children with breast, as Chronicles of Judah would say. Let's play it again so you can hear it.
Honk, babe, honk!
What the fuck is he
He's
doing?
sleeping, babe! Stop! He probably fell asleep or something.
What?
He's not paying attention. Stop honking him. You're causing trouble, honey. He probably just didn't think. He even crashed himself. We didn't do anything to him.
I know. I'm not saying we did.
Right when you know you're gonna hit someone, honey, you have to honk.
See that? Brothers. This is why look, this is the little shit that eats you up. Free agent lifestyle for life, man. I can't deal with it. Dude, that's every day. That's every day of your life, or at least once or twice a week. At least once or twice a week. Now you telling him to stop and don't do it. Right when you hit someone, you have to know you have to honk. What are you talking about? Bitch, if you don't shut the fuck it up.
Shut up!
All right, please.
Shut your bitch ass up!
These people are crazy. He said, Maury said, grounds for breakup. For real, man. Like, stuff like that, it just irritates me. Those are the big irritants of relationships for me. People think it's all about these major things, but these are the little things that really just drive you crazy because they don't realize it. They're hysterical. They're in hysterics. And then they don't realize, and then you're arguing back and forth, and oh, she got time to argue this. She gonna argue this, and guess what? When you get home, no pussy. All right, no pussy for you.
I haven't showered in 3 days, and I smell like a bag of onions. Is any of this turning you off? Nothing.
No pussy for you. You're risking getting sex from your wife on an argument on who's right about honking. Bitch, you told me to honk. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. All right. Then you told me to stop honking. Man, I tell you, man, some of these ninjas get pegged. Last one, Straggle into Nickel Theater. We have Nia Long. Oh, Nia Long looks like she posted this video. And boy, this is embarrassing. This is Chris Rock and the legendary Chris Rock, Coach Gang Yang affiliated. And this is Nia Long here. What did she have to say? They went on a date. And this goes down to the things that when women say things on dates, they wonder why they don't get a second date. But it's normally because of what they said on the first date, right? But they don't realize, and then men typically don't correct them, but it's something they said that took them out of contention for a second date. Even if we didn't smash, we like, damn, this bitch reckless about the mouth. Now, Chris Rock is going to tell us, and everybody's going to glitch, but watch Nia Long, who's got a shirt on like The Big Show, or King Kong Bundy, or Andre the Giant. She got that Andre the Giant shit on. Well, it's The Big Show. And you know Nia Long used to hang out with all the drug dealers when she was 14 years old. She said it, I didn't. But let's take you to the video here why Chris Rock did not give Nia Long a second date.
We went on a date after we kind of hung out, and he took me back to Brooklyn and dropped me off. And I'm like, okay, so I guess this is the part where you exchange numbers. Make a long story short, a week goes by, and I didn't hear from him. He gave me his number, and I'm like, God, I gave him mine. He didn't call me. And finally, I call him, and I dial the number, and this man gave me a wrong number.
Oh.
Can you imagine?
Now, why would we have done that? Did you do that purposely?
Yes, I did it purposely. She was kind of obnoxious.
No, I wasn't.
Here's what, you know how you go on a date and this one thing means we're not going out again?
Yes.
It could be like one thing.
Yes.
The whole thing could be fine.
Okay.
And then one thing could end it. So at some point in the date, I go, are you seeing anybody, right?
Let me stop it right there for pausing effects here. Nia Long knows what she said. And Chris Rock has already told her about this, so she already knows. But she doesn't want Chris Rock to tell. But this is what she said. And guys, press 1 in the chat if you ever had a woman say something like this. And it was a turnoff. Let's continue.
And she says, hey, she says, no, but I know where to get some if I need it.
All these years later, you all can do business together.
Yeah. And I didn't have to worry about calling you for that.
Yeah.
So.
And it's all good. What a story. All right. I heard that when he came to you, Nia, about good hair.
So ladies, don't say that on a first date.
Exactly, Chris. Chris Rock. Although the only thing I will say about Chris Rock, that he's a raging libtard sometimes, so I have to let that slide. He's a Kamala Harris libtard, but hey, no one's perfect. But as you can see, they try to let that shit slide. Wendy Williams. So anyway, nah, nigga, let's bring that shit back. It just don't say this on first date. But I'm going to just also tell you, ladies, gentlemen, let them talk, man. Let them talk themselves out of wifey mode. Because what women will do is they'll get nervous on a date and they'll start getting jabberjaws. And then they'll start talking to you and get more too relaxed. And it's normally when you give them a little bit of alcohol and drink. All right, that alcohol, that Henny, that wine, start talking. If you got an Asian, that soju, start talking. All right, that soju, start talking. As soon as that soju hit, they start talking. And you better take notes. Because they start trying to be cool and acting this and trying to, tell you about some shit that they done. Let them talk, man. And just take notes and let them talk themselves out of wifey mode. Okay? Now, Chris is saying don't say this on the first date. Nah, man. Let them yap. This is why you want women to drink and you stay sober. All right? Or if you can handle your liquor, handle your liquor. Let them talk. And he didn't even want to smash no more. He was like, I'm good. I'm good. And it could be as simple as common as that, because no matter what, and this is the dynamics between men and women, no matter what, no man wants to think about the woman getting penetrated. We don't. Now, we can talk about penetrating women. I don't think that hurts women. I don't think women go, ugh. Now, there are some women that probably don't care or probably do care. Like, they probably don't want to think about you being a hoe either. But it probably doesn't hurt you as much as if, even if we know she has kids, we still don't want to know about you getting penetrated. We don't want to know where you can just go get dick when you want that. And it's not going to help. It's not going to help her get into a relationship. And so look at your boy Chris Rock. He was like, I'm good. And look at his whole body language. I don't know if he was married at the time. All right. I don't know if he was married at the time, but he's not even close to her. He ain't even touching her. And he's already been on a date with her. She's the one leaning into him and touching him and ha-haing and kikiing. All right. He got his hands in his lap. He's in a position of, oh, no, there's nothing between us, y'all. But I don't know if he was married at the time.
In an effort to seem like an independent woman, I am afraid that many women have probably said something like that.
Listen, I was young and honest.
And the margaritas were good.
Hey!
Dinner was going.
We went on a date out.
All right, so there you go right there. Yeah, nobody wants it. You're on a date with a woman, you still kind of just want to think she's a virgin. You know what I mean? I know, ladies are like, but that's not fair. All right, well, if we think you're a hoe, we're going to treat you like a hoe. All right, for sure. That's Drago and Sniggle Theater.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
By the way, she been in these streets for a long time, Nia Long, so it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, shout out to you ninjas that love Nia Long. We do have coming up next a housewife on It's the Evil World We Live In. Wait a minute, what happened there? A housewife.
It's an evil world.
It's the evil world we live in that says she charges her husband to be a stay-at-home mom. How much does she charge her husband? Well, if you read the thumbnail, you saw it. But we're going to show you for you ninjas that were mad at that one YouTube content creator who goes by, I think, Alligator. Is she an alligator? Allie said that she gets $100 per week for snacks. Okay. This woman is going to charge a little bit more. Shout out to you tradcons, all right, or for you guys for traditional marriage. We're going to see how you feel about the next story. Appreciate the support here. Let me check on Venmo here. What's going on here? Venmo, all right. We'll check on Ko-Fi. Shout out to Ko-Fi. Says, LL Cool C says, Mitches don't realize that a woman that pays half for a date still has low interest in them, but they will brag that she's not a gold digger and that she likes him. This is a matter of fact. Okay, we're kind of could hopefully discuss that later on. But guys are saying, hey, because she paid, she must be interested in me. I think the opposite is true. Her interest might not be, and you can't expect women to have high interest with you when they initially meet you unless they want to sleep with you and like right away. That's the biggest sign that they have interest or a need or a scratch to itch. But many women pay so they don't have to sleep with you. Okay, so if a woman pays on a date, you might think, hey, I came up. But a lot of times, especially feminists or women that don't want you to believe that they owe you something after you take them to dinner, they will pay half. They will pay half. That's their way of paying out of responsibility for having sex. So she won't feel guilty of foodie calling you. That's her way for not feeling guilty for foodie calling you. She will pay half. Right? I'll pay half. She might even pay the whole thing. If it's not a high-end restaurant, she'll pay the whole thing. So she doesn't have to owe you sex. So that way she can give you the church hug, pelvic away, church hug. Have a good day. We'll talk again. We'll get together another time. Her interest is there, but it's just low interest. Now, she might warm up to you later on down the line. But when I tell guys this, a lot of these coochie commies, they don't believe me. When women buy into relationships, it is not because they like you. It could be because they like you, but not necessarily because they like you. One of the reasons they buy into relationships, let's say a 50-50 relationship, is so you can't tell them what to do. So you can't tell them what to do. So if she says, hey, I pay half the rent or I pay a portion of the rent, I pay, You pay the rent, I pay the bills. That is her way of buying into you're not her father anymore. Okay. So you don't have a sexual relationship. She can turn you down for sex. And if you say, well, I pay the bills around this motherfucker, you can't say that anymore. She's disarmed you. Why you don't cook and clean? She's disarmed you. What do you mean cook or clean? You on your own, baby. You a grown ass man. I ain't going to just cook and clean. So she's bought her way out of being told what to do. She's bought her way out of traditional gender roles. That's why she paid in. But you thought you were getting a better deal. So when you tell her to fuck on command and suck dick on command and wash dishes on command and cook on command, she has disarmed you by paying into it. But she's still getting something from the relationship, which most of the time women who do this tend to be washed, all right, at the washed age, which is 32 and up. All right. And she realizes I got a little bit of money in my pocket. I'm good. We can split these bills down the middle. But now she's got you and you're the that's you guy. And she's bought in. But dudes will be like, my girl pays for me. I got a girlfriend and sometimes she pays, sometimes I pay. Well, guess what? I guarantee you she ain't busting no suds on command. She ain't folding your motherfucking socks. She ain't folding your socks. She don't have sex on command. You can't guilt her into sex or sucking that dick. She'll suck the dick when she wants to suck the dick. All right. And I'm going to tell you, man, people think I'm, roommate with no benefits. So I've been around for a long time. When I hear dudes brag about this, I just sit around like, dude, your only brag is that you don't pay or she pays half. You're not even telling the whole story. If I broke down the whole relationship, I guarantee you, she don't fuck on command. You wash dishes. You probably do your own laundry. She don't do shit for you. You pick up your own cleaners. She works 60 hours a week. Like, she probably fat. So I'm just letting you know, man, I can break down the relationship. I'm like, congratulations, but dude, let's talk about what's really going on. You don't have a traditional relationship at all. You fold your own goddamn laundry. She just piles it on the bed. There's yours. 100%. All right, so anyway, enough about that. Shout out to LL Cool C in the building. We got another show coming up, a part of the show here. So the next part of the show, and yes, you might have an open relationship. You might have an open relationship where she goes and gets clapped by somebody, and that's her way for guilt-freeing. All right, guilt-freeing. Okay, I cheated on you, so what? All right, paying into it. So here's my question. When she leaves the relationship, you have a 50-50 girlfriend, and she leaves the relationship, what do you do now? I'll wait. Can you afford to pay the rest of the lease? Now, before you jump up in here and tell me, yeah, nigga, of course. Do you know how many men that I've counseled and just taking life experience, how many men got screwed over in a relationship when they re-signed the lease after a year, and 3-4 months into that second lease, all hell broke loose in the relationship. And he couldn't leave because the lease. And she couldn't leave because the lease. But they broke up. So something's going to happen. Something's got to give. Then I've heard situations where she'll start dating another guy. Y'all broke up. You moved to separate bedrooms, but she starts dating another guy and she still lives with you. Man, this shit is real out here. It may not happen to you, but guys, this is going to happen. It's happened. Dude, this is the most common situation. Or she just ups and leaves and now you have to pay the lease. Or you're like, I'm going to break up with my girl and move out in 8 months. You got to literally write out the lease because you need her side or you can't just up and dip. This is the 50-50 relationship trap, which I'm not against 50-50 relationships. I just wouldn't put myself in that situation. I mean, not me, not at this age. So yeah, you were paying and splitting bills up until you broke up. Now, when you break up, you're stuck in the lease and you can't move. And most of the time you can't move. You can't afford your own expenses because you thought, you didn't have your savings right. You were making just enough money to pay your half and playing video games and shit. Okay. And then all of a sudden the rug got pulled and you were like, oh, damn. And you got stuck. So this happens quite a bit of times. So this is why I don't advise 50-50 relationships. I either pay it all or I stay single. All right. I'm always wanting to leverage. And by the way, also, I had a roommate that did that to her boyfriend. All right. So I've lived with 3 women as roommates. And when I graduated from college, I had 3 female roommates at different times. So my last female roommate did that to her boyfriend. All right. So she needed a place to live. Unfortunately, she had a financial situation. She had filed for bankruptcy when she was younger. All right. But, she was a teacher. And then she was looking for a place to stay, but she couldn't get her own place because she had filed for bankruptcy. So, but she was in a relationship. It was a white girl, and the dude was an Asian guy, Ricky Tan. And he was like one of the Asian, some Asian guys have that demeanor where they just kind of introverted and they don't talk or express themselves, but they could crash the fuck out. They could get some Hong Kong phooey and shit. You know what I mean? You can't really read the nigga. You looking at them and they got poker face. And you looking at Ricky Tan, they small, they got a long ass torso and short ass legs. But that nigga could go Hong Kong phooey and tear your shit up. You know what I mean? And go in a rage and start throwing out stars. Nigga get up there. That's what her boyfriend was like. The silent dragon. The bow leg. He was bow-legged, Ricky Tan, long torso, short ass legs, wearing tank tops all the time and shit. Them niggas. You got a sword collection and a knife collection. Ninja Star. Yeah, these niggas right here. All right. You can't really read them. He walk in the room. What's up, man? How's it going? He poker face. All right. Anyway, that was her boyfriend. And she said he does crash out. So what happened was a friend of mine, he wanted to smash this white girl. And she had some big titties too. All right. She had some big titties. So he wanted to smash this white girl. It was a brother. But he knew them. They were kind of friends. They were friends. But then she wanted a place to move in. But of course, because of the bankruptcy, she couldn't get her own place. And they heard my other female roommate was moving back to Sweden. So she was like, hey, can I come in? So they had literally met up with me at my place. And this white girl, she was like a Beverly Hills 91210 white girl. All right. She had a whole white girl name. And she came through, big titties out, all that. And she was like, yeah, I'm looking for a place to live. And she hit me with that white girl shit. And she was like, but I live with my boyfriend, but I'm going to break up with him and I'm going to move in with you. And I was like,
yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir. All right. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. But I'm like, make sure this nigga don't crash out on me and make sure he knows we're not in a relationship. Because when I live with women, I never mix business with pleasure. I never fucked none of my female roommates. Now, we might had a little make out session or a cuddle session every now and then, right? But I never mix business with pleasure. But they met with me 3 months before the actual move-in date. 3 months. So when I tell you women have a exit plan, it ain't tomorrow. They will literally set your ass up and then hit you with the okey doke. So that's what happened. And I was 22 years old when this has happened. So I'm looking going, damn, she about to set this nigga up. She set him up smooth 3 months ahead for the okey doke. I was like, whoa. So I'm getting a lesson on women well before. I'm getting that red pill well before. And I'm like, whoa. So anyway, she finally yanks the rug on this nigga like that day, moves out that day. And she moving into my house. And he ended up helping her move in. He's coming in and out. He looking at me. You know what I mean? He like, who is you, nigga? Meanwhile, it's the other dude that helped her. It's the other dude that ended up smashing her. He ended up smashing her at the crib one time. At least once. All right. And she told me that nigga was a minute man. He was a minute man. He said, I don't want to get too graphic, but she used to tell me because we used to have hoes coming in and out. And she used to talk shit about me. I was like, huh? I was like, as many men as you had running up in here, don't be trying to call me a hoe. All right. You are straight up schizoid. All right. So She used to come in. She said he came over to smash Minute Man. Nigga, she said she must have haven't had sex in a long time. He sprayed up the whole house. Right. She was like, boy, was he excited. She was like, he didn't last long. And that shit was, you know, when it's water. She was like, this ninja was dry. I was like, that's cold. She was like, he must have ain't had sex in a minute. But he saw them big titties and he was gone. All right. She had the stringy hair. She had the whole Beverly Hills 91210. Let me see if I can pull it up and see who she looked like. And she went to well, I can't say. I was about to give up too much information. I was about to give up too much information. Never mind. Let me see who she reminded me of. Okay, she kind of probably reminded me of this woman right here. All right. Either her or her. All right. Not really her, because she's a more pretty docile, but she was more like this one right here. All right. The you know who-ish one. And she was a head case, bro. She was a head case. But anyway. Nah, nigga, they had the room closed. But yeah, she was something else. She was a scheming ass white girl too, bro. She was a schemer. I mean, I was learning a whole bunch from her, man. And she looked so innocent. But bruh, I living with women taught me a lot. Like, dude, I'm like, dude, women do shit without y'all knowing under the cover of night. When the lights go out, bruh, I'll tell you. All right, anyway, that's my story about that ninja. But the whole story was they will set your ass up for the okie doke. They will pre-plan your downfall. Women who divorce their husbands and file for divorce, on average, meet with attorneys at least 1 year prior to the divorce. Huh? So y'all have the whole quote. Now people gonna steal my quotes and shit. Because I did all the research and shit like this. Women who file for divorce plan their divorce. They meet with the divorce attorney at least a year before they file for the divorce. They've got your paperwork up there. They thought, planned their escape, told their mother, your monster-in-law, family, relatives, all of that shit. Before they execute, they get the marriage counselor. They have all their shit set up. Their attorneys will have all their shit up. Their next boyfriend will be set up. The next man they live with will be set up. Okay, their next boyfriend that's going to come over and simp enforce for her is going to be set up. Okay, and so the point is, you're in a 50-50 relationship and you're like, my girl pays half of my shit and I don't have to worry about nothing. This ain't nothing to brag about, nigga. Because if that relationship ends, and it may, there's a high likelihood it does, you fucking cook. You better have some money. You better have a slush fund ready to go. Because that ain't nothing to brag about to me. All right, I know dudes think that if a woman pays, they got a real one. I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. I think you're setting yourself up for disaster. I used to have this JUCO chick. I don't see her no more. All right, but I had a JUCO chick. She was in an open relationship, what she told me. But she said, yeah, you know, I've been with this guy for 8 years or 7 years or 6 years. We've been together for a long time. We moved across country together, all that. That's her man. But she said, we don't do nothing. We don't fuck. We're like roommates. He sleeps on the couch and plays video games. He's kind of like a white gamer introvert. He don't hit, you know, and she's overly sexual. She was very overly sexual. She said, I can't leave and he can't leave. Okay. Classic 50-50 relationship. And she's like, I love him, but not like that. But she said, I love him, but if I leave, he's homeless and he's not ambitious. So he's cooked if I leave. That's how much she loved him. But she says, we just aren't together anymore. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Classic 50-50 relationship. And the only way she was surviving, well, it was get him daddy season.
Get him daddy.
That's how she was making her rent. He can't make rent like that. So she making portions of her rent coming to see me. So I'm like, man, bruh. I'm like, dude, this shit is pathetic, man. Yep, he was a low sex drive nigga. He didn't want to he didn't want to smash no more. Look, there's always a girl there's always a girl, no matter how beautiful you think she is, there's a guy tired of fucking her. So I see these things and I tell you as men, and I don't know what your personal relationship is, but what I'm telling men is as a general collective, this is a bad idea. For you as an individual, it may be working, and that's fine. I'm not trying to make your relationship not work. But what I'm trying to tell guys is when they're trying to enter into this, you think this is a bragging point, and I see it as a point where you're going to get hung. You're eventually going to get hung doing this shit. So then you're like, well, I don't want to pay into it and lose the money. But most of the time, you're not going to lose the money, all right? You're going to be in a leveraged position. You'll financially recover if she dips, unless she sues you or divorces you in alimony and child support. That's a whole different subject matter. But if she dips, you can still survive. You're paying all the money, and she says, I'm fucking another guy. Okay, bye. She walks out the door, and she loses all of your support for the next guy that she needs to have support. Then you're still living. You still good. I played a video of a woman saying that today. Let's see if I can play it again. I played a woman saying that today, where she said she left the relationship. Then what happened? She realized she couldn't survive out here. Now she's coming back. She wants to go back to the relationship that she found out he was cheating. So bad, she's willing to overlook cheating because she can't afford her lifestyle. So when the woman leaves and you're paying all the bills, she leaves and she walks. Okay, go ahead. There's a high chance she'll want to come back, because when she goes out there for the next dick ain't going to support her. And then 3, 6, 8 months later, she's going to say, maybe I'll go back. Or, baby, come back. But you can still live with her leaving. If you're 50-50 and she leaves, there's 90% of y'all that can't survive. Yep. Let me see here. Okay, 90% of y'all. So despite the fact that you'll be like, oh, I can't. Okay, that's you. A lot of people take it personal what I'm saying. Remember this. I want you to remember this. And my son had to remind, he reminded me this. And by the way, hit the like button. You're looking at me, right? You're watching me. I see me back in the reflection. So I'm looking into the screen and I see me on my Streamlabs desktop. When I look into the camera, you're looking at me, but I can't see you. So I'm talking now to what they're saying is 1,300 people live. Out of you 1,300 people, I see none of you, okay? I can't see you if you digging in your nose, if you in your drawers, if your bitch sitting next to you, if you're married, single, divorced. So I don't see you. You see me. So when I'm talking to 1,300 people generally. In that case, when you're firing back at me about your experience, you're one of 1,300 people. You're not everybody. I'm talking to everybody. I'm not talking to you, nigga. I can't see you. Okay? You can see me. I can't see you. So when you get personally attacked, I ain't like that, coach. I can survive if my bitch leaves in a 50-50. Nigga, I can't see you. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I'm not talking about you. You clicked on my face. I don't know who the fuck you are, nigga. So I'm not talking to you, bitch ass nigga. I can't see you. Although you might think I can see you through a spy cam, nigga, where you're literally trying to figure out how to jerk off in between watching me. I can't see what the fuck you're doing on the other side, you motherfucking potato chip eating, pork rind eating ass niggas. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I can't see you. So when you fire back at me, not me, nigga, I don't know who you are, bruh. You can see me, I can't see you. So I'm speaking to 1,300 plus people. In the morning, I'm almost speaking to 3,000 people. When I'm talking, I ain't talking to you specifically. I have to speak in generalities and use data to back up my point and experience. That's what I have to use. All right. Just chill the fuck out. Hey, if it works for you, it works for you, you goofy ass, buck too fast nigga. Hey, congratulations. Okay. All right. Let me see here. But dudes be getting like, what? Well, it works for me, so I don't know what you're talking about. I can't see. Who are you? Who the fuck are you? Right? You don't even have your real face on the you don't even have your real face and name on the goddamn name. I don't even know who you are, bruh. So shout out to Eric Scott Sermon in the building. Thank you, brother, for shaking up the spot over there, dropping a dime. Dropping a dime. So just take this as just, hey, these are things to just put in your notebook, always plan. You know, we're talking ahead, plan ahead, know what to expect. I'm not attacking your personal relationship with the fat bitch you're sitting next to. I don't care about that fat bitch that pays half of your rent. I don't give a fuck. And nor do I want her to stop paying the rent. Or do I want you to change your relationship because I said, hey, this could happen. Then you go to your fat ass wife, all right, that goes in there and be like, hey, I want to pay all the bills because CGA said so. I don't care, nigga, if you making it work. We're talking about generally what happens. All right, now it's 1,400 people. Getting to it. Let's get to the sub-main event on It's the Evil World We Live In. Here we go.
It's an evil world we live in.
All right, it's the evil world we live in. By the way, by the end of the month, we're talking about in the neighborhood of nearly 500. No. Let me just do some quick maths here. All right. We're going to hundreds of thousands of people watch me, or at least hundreds of thousands of people take their seat and watch me throughout the goddamn month. All right. You do the goddamn math. This is a lot of people, man, that I'm speaking to generally. Hundreds of thousands of people. All right. And some people are coming to the seat every day. All right. They're coming to the arena. Some people don't. Some people didn't. Like 30% of the people who watch me are unsubscribed to my channel or more. So you're talking about hundreds of thousands of people that are listening to me every month. Millions of people per year. Millions of people have bought tickets and to sit in the arena of CGA. Million people per year. Million seats are bought or paid for or reserved to watch me live and replay. We're talking about millions of people. Do not take this shit personal, man. Do not, Larry C with the math. Thank you. Do not take this shit personal. I'm talking to a stadium every day. I'm talking to a college basketball arena every day, a football stadium a month. Imagine, just think of this. A month, I'm talking to the Georgia football stadium, the University of Michigan Big House. That's who I'm talking to every goddamn month. Do not take what I'm saying personal. I can't see you, man. Don't take it personal, man. By the end of the day, I'm talking to the city of Milwaukee at the end of the month. Or by the end of the year, I'm talking to the city of Milwaukee, the population of Jacksonville, Florida by the end of the month. The population of San Jose, California by the end of the month or the end of the year. Just chill the fuck out, man. All right, I don't know who you are. I don't know your story. I'm just using experience, generalizations, personal experiences, experience of others, data from coaching clients, data on the internet. I'm using a whole bunch of things, man, to come up with these stories about what goes on. Please do not come in here to tell me you're different. I don't have that experience. Well, kiss my motherfucking ass, dude. It don't matter. It doesn't change the story. Congratulations, your fat, ugly bitch pays half your rent. Well, she has to in order to have your goofy ass live with her. All right. Congratulations. But I'm talking to millions of people per year. Okay, this is something you can't understand. When you understand it, then you won't take it all personal. All right. So anyway. All right. Let me see here. What do we got here? It's the evil world we live in.
It's an evil world we live in.
Dating is monetized. Dating is monetized. Everything is monetized. Everything is monetized. Marriage is monetized. As I say, all men pay. All men pay. We got a woman out here, and take a look at her. There's your wife. There's your traditional housewife right there. She definitely looks like a wife from Lexington or Paducah, Kentucky. She definitely looks like a Paducah, Kentucky wife. She says she charges her husband for stay-at-home mom services. More women need to have this mentality. By the way, there was a movement going on in the 2000s for this to happen here. So I'm going to take you back to that. But let's hear what she has to say about charging her husband for stay-at-home wife activities.
I charge my husband for my stay-at-home mom services. I wrote it all down so I can go ahead and explain. My husband gets paid tomorrow, so that means that he will pay me out tomorrow as well. I charge him $20 per load of dishes that I do. I usually do that about 2 to 3 times a day, 5 days a week. That's about $300 a week. I charge $35 per load of laundry. I do laundry about 4 times a week, that being about $140. $60 per bathroom per clean, and I usually do that about 2 times a week. I kind of go in and do a deep clean. That ends up being about $240 a week. I charge $100 to clean all of the floors. It includes sweeping, the mopping, and that includes every bedroom. So I don't think that's bad. I do that about 2 to 3 times a week, so we say about $300 a week. I homeschool the kids, so I charge him $400 tuition each kid each week. So that's $800 a week for the kids, $50 for my car shuttle services because I take the kids to art class, to gymnastics, to baseball, soccer. That is $150 a week. $75 for my grocery shopping fee. Does not include the groceries or the tip. But I only do that once a week, so that's not bad. Let's see. $50 for my personal chef services. That is about 10 times a week because he makes breakfast, so I make lunch and dinner every day. That ends up being $500 a week for me. That's from Monday to Friday because I don't work on Saturdays or Sundays. I charge him $200 a week for my breastfeeding fee because I still breastfeed the baby. I also charge a $10 daily sweeping fee of the house to kind of just upkeep it. I do that 5 times a week, and that ends up being about $50. So the total that I charge my husband every week for all of my stay-at-home services is about $2,700. If he wants to save money, he can help me do any of these tasks, and he can save money. It doesn't leave much for him at the end of the month, but it does give me enough to pay my mortgage. It gives me enough to pay the car payment, car insurance, water, electric, groceries, stuff like that I need to get taken care of. So ultimately, it does kind of make me the breadwinner in my household.
Okay. All right. You heard that right there. A lot of guys are probably going crazy here.
It's an evil world we live in.
All right. But there was a movement right about the time where I got married. All right. Where I have videos of me explaining this. Where there was a movement here. This is probably right when I got married, this became popular. Definitely when daytime talk shows and stuff came out. There was a conversation about this here. This is a conversation here of how much a housewife should get paid for their services. And, look at this, sir. Hombre Lobo. Housewives in Kenya might start getting paid. How ironic. How ironic. I thought remember, somebody was just coming in here caping for Kenya. But it looks like it's there too. There's no escaping this, guys. There's no escaping the bullshit. All men pay. And all men pay on every continent. Hombre Lobo. You see this? Somebody was just in here with on that Kenya shit. I heard you could get traditional women in Kenya. And they could go over there. Oh, no. How much? It says housewives in Kenya might start getting paid. But there was a movement going on where they were saying they were trying to quantify how much a stay-at-home mom is worth. It says stay-at-home parent. Okay? How much is worth? And then they go in there and say the median salary, the salary that they should be making and worth is $205,000 a year. Okay? All right, and I remember this at the time because I was just getting married, and at the time I was like, you know, my wife at the time was talking that shit, and I was like, don't talk that shit up in here. All right, bitch, I don't even make $200,000 a year. But even in the video, the woman was saying, I'm the breadwinner. I make more money being a stay-at-home mom than the husband makes. Okay, so let's see here. We got $205,000 a year, and they calculate that, again, like that woman was calculating. This is not out of the norm of what people say. And yes, dude, there's housewives that get allowances. There's housewives that get allowances. I know this. I lived in Newport Beach. Them women get allowances, and they get a spending account and all of that. They got access to the credit card, so you're paying them too. All right, in the suburbs, high end. So you got child care provider, private chef, house cleaner, driver, laundry worker, and so forth and so on. And they came down to this thing. Now, again, I'm not going to do it today, but I basically dismantled this by saying, well, these aren't, you're not doing professional level service, all right? You're not delivering, you're not doing professional level service. So you're not getting, you're taking their full-time income and applying it to your parentage. Well, you're not a full-time dry cleaner. You're not a full-time laundry person. You're not a full-time driver. You're driving as a result of what people have done for a long time. You're driving for a period of the day. You're not a full-time driver. So you're not getting that full hourly rate of a full-time concierge or a driver. Okay, so, but this is kind of a thing, a movement that's been going on. And by the way, this article, again, is from January 2025. All right, so this is the most recent article. But you can go back to this feminism started to get planted back in the 2000s. All right, so I got married in 2004. Somewhere around there. I'd rather forget when that year was. I'd rather put it in the back of my mind. It was an evil time. It was the best of times and it was the worst of times. All right, but yeah, this has been started for about 25 years. We're going on hearing this conversation. At least in my adulthood, I've been started hearing that. Let's take you to another video of the woman saying something similar. I don't know. I believe this is the same woman, but she's got another video. Women are charging their husbands weekly fees for stay-at-home mom duties. They charge for doing dishes. These are real videos, by the way, not staged. For these guys that are pining for traditional relationships, remember I told you, they're gone. For calling women gold diggers for getting $100 a week for snacks, I told you that's a discount. I told you this is a discount. This is a discount, guys. And men that are getting married, they're getting married because they don't want to be lonely or they want to get married and have kids, and they're making their deal with these women. Remember, I've been telling you guys, dudes are out here making deals with these women. And you go into it and you go to Target and you be like, well, I see they have a loving relationship and they have a relationship, and you think their relationship is based on this one loves this one. This one pays for this one, and this one loves them back equally, or she pays for it. They like each other. That's what you think. You know how many marriages exist where it's strictly business and transactional? It's strictly business. Yes, they go to baseball games with their kids and go to T-ball, and you see them. Especially if you have a highly attractive wife, trophy wife. That's a transactional relationship. Most of the time, the guy's older, second marriage. Most of the time, this is the woman he cheated on as a secretary or some shit like that, or she worked at Hooters or was a hooker or a stripper, all right, a seeking arrangement girl, and he married her up. And she gets an allowance. Dude, I know a woman like this. She gets $5,000 a month in allowance, and she's a trophy wife, okay? And the guy pays her $5,000 a month, and she uses that to get her cosmetic surgeries and Botox and shit like this. This is a lot of relationships, but a lot of people are still trying to figure out how to make it work like a middle-class normie relationship, and then you find out it's a struggle. Middle class is struggling in relationships. They get together, they both work outside the house, right? Their kids go to school, they don't know what their kids are doing, they come back and they do a TV dinner, right? They barely fuck. This is what people think is happening. When I'm telling you, man, it's all transactional, guys. It's all, most of these are predicated on highly transactional type relationships. All right, unfortunately. So this is the woman here. I charge my husband. This is the same woman. She has a different number, but she's holding up a fist full of 20s. Now, he could get this for way cheaper if he hired 3 separate women. But of course, he's with this Poggy. He's with this Poggy, but let's hear the video right here.
I charge my husband $1,200 every week for stay-at-home mom services. Let me show you. Everything written down so I won't forget anything. Starting off with the biggest one, I would say, is dishes. I do $25 a load, and I do that 3 times a day, 7 days a week. And that's a total of $525. I charge him a fee of $100 a week for a personal chef because I do cook and clean for everybody here. I do pack his breakfast.
By the way, the brother that said Profitable Pat, did you look her up? Is that the accurate age range? This is a different chick. Looks like the same, but I'm not sure. Oh, it might be a different chick. She looks slightly different. They're both fat. I don't know. Might be the same chick. She looks slow though. She does look a little slow. All right, but here we go.
Lunch and dinner. Since I do stay at home, I do take care of my baby all day, and I do charge him $50 a day. Another big one is floor cleaning. Floor cleaning is a big one for me because I do have a baby that just started walking, so I try to keep the floor very clean as much as I can. I do it 2 to 3 times a week, $10 a day, so that's $20 to $30 a week. Laundry is another big one for me and in our house. Laundry, I do $50 a load, and I usually do that, I want to say 2 times a week, so that's about $100 a week.
All right, so you guys said that these are 2 different women. All right, they both fat, and she do look like she got downs. All right, but I can see one skinnier than the other one slightly. Her face is long and oval, and this one's just a big ass circle. All right, they both got brown hair. I can't really tell. They both fat to me. All right, but they both came up with a different number, so yeah.
Groceries, I do sometimes order on curbside, but usually I do like to go to the store and pick out my groceries. And so I do charge them $50 a week just for going grocery shopping and then unloading everything and then putting everything away.
Well, at least if she's getting paid, she's not a slave. All right, so if she's getting paid, she's not a slave. So then she can't say, I slaved away. I don't know. But everything's transactional and negotiable.
When I get home, you have 2 dogs. So I do charge them $25 dog sitting fee per
goodness.
dog. So
Jesus.
that is $50 a week. The bathroom is not a big one. I just do $30 a week only because I just clean it one time. I also charge them a car service fee because I do take my babies to the doctor's appointments. I go buy groceries. I put gas in the car. Any errands that I have to run is considered a car service, so I do charge them only $50 a week. That does leave us a total with about $1,175 to $1,200 a week. I know that may be very little to some people, and you might be surprised why I charge so little. But the thing you have to keep in mind is I just started doing these services about 1.5 years ago, maybe, because I just had my baby 1.5 years ago.
Man, I've been trying to warn you of this exact thing, guys. I've been trying to warn you of this exact thing, that women are now monetized. Okay, so you guys just hear sell pussy when I say monetize, but you're not hearing the whole thing. When I say they're monetized, that means they count whatever they do as an opportunity to make money. So going on a date, you have sites where the woman goes on a date and gets paid for it. That's monetized. She hasn't had sex. She just went on a date. A woman that works and is a career woman now has a quantifiable number of her worth. I make $10 an hour, 15, 20. And then she then looks at that and says, if I was to give that up, you would have to compensate me for replacing that, for losing that income. I'm not just going to give that up. So women will arrive at, hey, I could earn in the next 10 years $500,000 or whatever the number is. If I was to give up my career for you, you would have to compensate me for that. This is what I call monetize. So monetize doesn't mean sell pussy. It just means that women date and they look at the number, right? If she makes 40 grand a year, she says, I want somebody above or at my level or above. That's monetized. All women are working and capable working women. So if you're trying to get her to be a traditional stay-at-home mom, she's looking at the financial implications of that and going, okay, what am I giving up? I'm giving up my career. I'm giving up my best years, my ability to become CEO. So now I have to maximize that by saying, but the guy has to earn a certain amount and have a certain lifestyle. That's called monetized. All right, so when I say dating is monetized, it's monetized. There's no denying that. That don't even include pay for play. All right, but what you're arguing is you're going to find a way to get that for free, which is the sex. I'm like, dude, that's fine. It's still monetized down the line. When you say, I want a woman to pay 50-50 of the bills, that's called monetized. Right? When she says you got to make $100K a year, that's monetized. She has now monetized the relationship, which I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with. What I'm saying is you're going to experience this no matter what. And the more we go deeper into these relationships, you can't avoid it now. It's unavoidable. 77 to 80% of women work. So you then are saying you need to stay at home and raise the kids. They're going, okay, well, I've worked all my life. You're not dealing with women that haven't worked. You're dealing with women that went to college and worked, or either one or the two. So they're saying, you want to take me off this market, it's going to cost. I can't just walk away from a job to raise kids. This is not going away. This is why I've been saying the monetized dating marketplace is here to stay. And it's going to go even further here when I show you the next video. Okay, but this is not a surprise to me at all, because this is the breakdown is kind of unnecessary to me. You can just basically come up with a flat fee to cover this and I will be okay. To break it down, I'm going to do the floors and this and that. This is the same as when dudes say I'm in a 50-50 relationship. But I say, okay, but you cook and clean. You cook and clean. You cook on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. When you go out, you pay sometimes. When you go out, she pays sometimes. Dude, this is not free. This is not free. You basically just monetize the relationship down to the middle, 50-50. But this isn't a surprise to me at all. I've been telling you we're going to get down to this. And some people, yes, some people do it in a variety of ways.
So I'm hoping once I start having my second baby, maybe I can update those charges maybe a little bit more, because it'll be more of us now in our family. However, as of now, that is what I do charge. I was sick yesterday and he did buy me some flowers and he did give me my monthly allowance, but that doesn't really count in the service fee of stay-at-home mom.
All right, she gave extra, but you notice it doesn't go backwards. She doesn't deduct expenses. Oh, you did this. I was sick. I took a day off. Deduct. I notice it never goes backwards, which is quite interesting. That's definitely quite woman of her. What a woman. It never goes backwards. It never, she never says, oh, he can never go in and say, bitch, you was sick. I took the kids to school, so I'm going to take off. Right? It never goes backwards, but maybe it does. Anyway, it's the evil world we live in, gentlemen.
It's an evil world.
Let's jump into this main event here. All right, now we got the monetization down. Okay, this is the future, gentlemen. In one way or another, this is going to be the future of relationships, because it's going to be hard for you to convince women who have had their minds set on that they were going to work, that they're not going to find that they need to be compensated in some sort of way. Now, it's not going to happen to everybody, but guys, this already happens in the high-end areas. Men that have trophy wives, they certainly do have the allowances to compensate them. You're seeing this now in dating. You're seeing women that are now upwardly mobile who own their own homes, saying a guy has to be this level or above. He has to bring value. He has to have some worth. And you'll even find that if she has kids, she then starts to modify and quantify what she loses if she takes work time off. All right. So she'll even try to say, well, you better have a nanny. That's monetized. So if you have a certain amount of income and she has her baby, she was like, well, I'm going to keep working because I like my job. So have a nanny. She don't plan on paying for that nanny. Maybe she does. Okay. But I hear these things all the time, and I hear other people go through these things, and people do these things. These are the relationships. These are the so-called relationships that you have that you say, I want something genuine. But genuine don't pay the bills. Genuine does not pay the bills. So in this situation here, what we have is coochie communism. So the Coochie communism, if you think about how systems work, you have democracy, republic, communism, socialism. You have a bunch of different type of ways things work out. For the technical term, the United States is a republic, but they also have a democratic arm to it. The Roman Empire was democratic before it became an empire, right? They had an emperor. Okay. You also have communism, communist societies that probably started off with a little bit of socialism, and then the socialism fell apart, and then it went into communism. All right. And then you have communism that countries typically don't start off communistic. They start off socialist, and then they morph into communism to try to rehab the damage. There are people still trying to make socialism work. So understand there are people hell-bent trying to make socialism work. They're like, hey, these countries tried it. It just didn't work. So if we tried to morph it, we can make it work. But everybody that's tried to do that, socialism, to make it work, it ends up becoming communism. All right. So it's a sad reality. But what Coochie communism does is in the relationship marketplace, you have a lot of men that are losers. The losers basically do not fall. They do not get a chance. All right. So losers don't get a chance. They don't get a chance to multiply. They get survival of the fittest. They drop out. Then above the losers, you have scumbags. Above the losers, you have scumbags. Now, scumbags have had success at some point with women. Some point with women, they've had success. Now, what they'll do is they'll try to ride the success out. They'll try to ride the success out to some sort of long-term success. All right. And so what they'll do is say, at some point in my dating career, I never had to pay. I never had to trick. I never had to simp. I never had to blah, blah, blah. I got pussy for free. I got laid on the weekends. And so what they'll do is they'll start this off at 21, 18, 16, and they'll try to stretch that out as long as they can. Then what they'll do is to keep themselves afloat in the marketplace. They'll ensure that you do the same. Even if you don't have the skill, the build, the status, or the ability of them. Even if they lose their status, they try to intimidate you in a communistic way to do the same. So they'll come up with terminology, simp, trick, all of these things to bully you. It's similar to this. It's similar to this. In the urban communities, they have a thing called no snitch. The no snitch policy in these urban communities basically say, we're not going to tell the police about any crimes that we have in this community. Now, the person that tells you this is normally a criminal, cocksucker, a criminal. The person they're telling to no snitch is normally not a criminal. So the person then that bullies you into the no snitch street rule benefits because they continue to bully you, who is not a criminal. So they get to commit crimes against you, but you don't snitch, or they commit crimes against your family or the neighborhood or the community. And they continue to benefit from this street politics, which is communism. But they'll tell you, hey, to be cool, we don't snitch around here, but you don't commit crimes. Okay, so I don't commit crimes. So what does the no snitch rule benefit me? I don't benefit from it. You benefit from it. But they got you subjugated and bullied and squashed by intimidating you to some sort of street law or honor or code that doesn't benefit you. So now you're bullied to not snitch on the criminals, but you're living an honest life. So now you got to be silent against crimes committed against you so you can be cool with the niggas that have the no snitch policy. Now, the people who don't commit crimes normally don't come up with policies of no snitch. It's the niggas that commit crimes that come up with the policies to no snitch. So it's a one-sided deal. Let me go back. Coochie commies do the same thing. All right, niggas, we ain't going to pay for these broads. We ain't going to take them out. We going to give them Burger King, coffee dates, walk dates. That's what we going to do, niggas. And we going to keep these hoes in line. So now they go out, no job, committing crimes, scamming, living at their mama's house, living above poverty, twin mattress, air mattress, ashy ass feet and knees, long ass toenails, yellow toenails, crooked teeth. They go out and they take the whole neighborhood and they run this game on them. Then they bully you for doing anything different. Okay, nigga, why you take her out to a restaurant? Why you pay her for pussy? Why are you simping? Why are you tricking? Okay, first of all, I have a job. I don't be outside all day. I have better things to do with my time. I don't prioritize pussy. I work 60 hours a week. I commute to hour of work. I don't be at the nightclub till 2:30 and 3 in the morning. So you just took an advantage of being a low-class scavenger nigga doing nothing all day but chasing pussy, trying to bring me down, but I don't have the same advantage. It's a one-sided deal. I got a regular job. I make an honest living. I earn way more money than you, nigga. I make $500,000 a year. Nigga, you make $20,000 a year. I got to go to sleep at 9 to be at work at 5. I got a I don't have a twin mattress. I live in an upper scale apartment. So why am I living by your rules? When you a scavenger, coochie commie nigga, you're going nowhere in life. I make $500,000 a year. Not saying I do, but I make $500,000 a year. I live in a loft apartment in New York City. Why am I taking bitches to Burger King? Because coochie communism. So the coochie commie is going to come up with all kind of rules and definitions to keep telling you you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, nigga. You overpaying, nigga. You doing but I can't afford to go to the nightclub Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I don't have time for that. I can't stay outside and cold approach 100 women. I'm at work. I can't walk up to people like that. I have a reputation. I can't let bitches like this up into my apartment. She a strag. So what they do is they convince you to play by a set of rules that advantages them and disadvantages you. So then when you try to do opposite, like, well, here's my point. I'm not defending tricking, simping, or any of this. But what you'll find is they'll be the loudest voice to get you to comply to a rules that you can't compete with. You don't have the time. See, a real man approaches 100 women. You cold approach them. You hit them on the bus stop. You hit them on the subway. Okay, I'm in traffic, bro. I'm not on the subway. I'm not at the bus stop. I'm not on the tube. I'm not at the club. I'm not at parties. You see what I mean? I have responsibility. I can't do that because that benefits you. So that it's a way to keep dudes on code to keep the marketplace as low as then they can compete and you can't. Okay? So they can't travel. They got felonies. They owe child support. So when you travel, they mad at you. They can't afford a $1,500 ticket. They can't afford the hotel. So when you do it, you a traveling trick or a traveling simp, whatever they want to call it. But they never gonna take their ass on the airplane and go anywhere. That's coochie communism. So as to disadvantage the person that has the ability, they come up with things to actually sway you to not do it. All right. So a real man don't do it that way. A real man makes sure she pay. Okay. But you're a guy that can't afford a date. So you would depend on the 50-50. You see what I mean? That's coochie communism, which is going to be difficult for men to accept. It's like, okay, well, why are you making me feel bad for doing it? Why are you making me feel bad for doing it when you had, it's a difference if they say, I could do it. I could do it, but I would never. But you going to these third world countries and you doing this. Okay, but are you going to the third world country? What you will find is they can't go to the third world country. They can't afford to go to the third world country. They can't afford to go to another state. They couldn't afford it. So what they do is jump on the internet and then convince you as to not to do it. You shouldn't do it. Well, you can't do it. It's the difference. Now, let me turn off over here to this young lady here. Okay. Okay, let me take you over here. But so young men get talked out of things and older men get talked out of things. It's really just revolves around where you put your dick. All right. And men then try to regulate and dick police how it works. Now, my philosophy typically doesn't do any much level of dick policing, although I will tell you, y'all with low quality women. Okay. All right, you were low quality women, so I do want to just shine a mirror on the type of shit you're doing. I ain't gonna stop you because they low quality women know how to fuck too. So a lot of low quality women produce children, as we see here. A lot of low quality women get married. So I can't tell you to not marry a certain woman because she looks a certain way. You might like that. You might like that, but that's you. But then what I'm going to tell you to do is do not come over here and tell me that I'm with some woman that looks fake or duck lips or white or whatever the hell you want. Do not come over on my side telling me who to date. A lot of low quality women can get knocked the fuck up here. All right. So that's that. If you go to Walmart, there's a lot of strags with babies. And there's a ninja breeding her like a cow. Moo. When he nuts in her, she moves. So I can't stop dudes from doing that. But what I'm saying is when you do this, please don't brag. That's all I say. Don't brag. Nigga, don't brag that you out here, ninja. And as a matter of fact, just so y'all know, we only doing receipts only. Okay. I dropped all my receipts. This is why I told y'all to subscribe to my channels. Okay. Hold on for a second. All right. I've dropped my receipts. Only receipts talk, man. Only receipts talk. So we ain't telling me I do this and I do that. Nigga, receipts. All right. We only printing receipts here. I drop my receipts all weekend on the Notorious CGA channel. That's why I tell you guys, follow all my channels. You never know when I'm going to go ham. For the people that saw them, you saw my receipts. They're gone. You can't see them. They're off the internet now. You missed it if you missed it. But we only showing receipts here. We're only showing what you're doing. We show our work. You want to do long division? Show me that work. You want to pass the exam? You can't just put the answer at the bottom, right, Larry C? You can't put the answer at the bottom. Or I figured it out in my head. Nah, it's only receipts. If you're a content creator, receipts only. I don't want to hear, well, I can't show and I don't want to show and there's legalities. Nah, nigga, we ain't playing none of that games over here, bruh. There's no debate. There's no debate on tactics and strategies and shit. Nope. There's no debates. Receipts only. I've dropped my receipts, so I don't want to hear y'all niggas complaining. And we only showing people we fucking, not women you standing next to. Okay? You got to put your dick in the woman. Okay? Okay? Not bitches, look at me standing next to this pretty girl, and I'm not leaning in. We're not doing that, fam. These niggas ain't got receipts. And you only got receipts because you got money. Hey, ninja, all men pay. Stop. Stop coochie communism in us. Fuck the coochie communism. We told you this in the free agent lifestyle, bruh. We free out here. Just because you ain't got the money, nigga, don't mean it. See, what I find with these coochie commies, like most communism, they don't have money. They never have money to back up anything. They always need the bread and the soup, and they always need to stand at the soup kitchen. And the reality is, I have never heard a man say, I'm worth millions of dollars and I will never pay. I'm worth $500,000 and I will never pay. I've never heard this. I heard coochie commies say they wouldn't pay. And I say, well, that's interesting. Because you can't afford anything. You can't afford anything. So it's easy to say I couldn't pay for something. That's like saying I'm going to the Bugatti dealership and I see a nigga buying a Bugatti and I walk in there and say, I wouldn't pay that much for a car. Of course you can't pay that much for a car, nigga. You ain't got the money. What's the point of me going in the Bugatti dealership telling another nigga not to buy a Bugatti? If he got the money, he got the money. Telling him to not buy it because I can't buy one is irrelevant. So it's easy to say why you wouldn't do shit because you can't. It's easy to say why you wouldn't go to Brazil and fuck because you can't. Your passport is revoked. Your passport is suspended. It's easy. All right, let's play this video here of a young woman who's on the monetized dating marketplace. All right, I thought you would find this video interesting. The best part of the monetized dating marketplace is it gives you control. You don't have to deal with slump busters, feminists, booger wolves, knock-kneed, cockeyed. You basically can go in and get what you want and negotiate it. Same thing as these young ladies right here. So he wants her. He wants her to mother the kids. He can go in and get her. He can select her. Same thing as this woman and down the line. Same thing as this woman. She's a coochie. She's a pay for play too. All right, just look at her recent divorce or child support case. She's monetized too. Corey, I got your coaching call, 7:30 in about 35 minutes. Schedule a coaching call, ninjas. So when I tell you there's something somebody said on Locals, men who are on the monetized dating marketplace, they fuck who they want. Most men who are coochie commies fuck who they can. If they can at all. Let's say this shit again. Most men who are on the monetized dating marketplace or whatever it is, dating, marriage, they fuck who they want when they want. If you're a coochie commie, you fuck who you can if you can. There's a difference in approach. But it also gives you the ability to sample the product, the merchandise. And most of the time, you will have women enter into these in and out spectrum, in and out the spectrum. The spectrum gives people new, it gives you new crop. It gives you new people to dilly-dally with. So they'll come in, I know my worth, and they'll get rejected and kicked out. Right? And then they'll be like, I thought I knew my worth. No, you didn't. So you can eliminate 90% of the marketplace by going in and deal with these women coming in and out, sample the goods, send them home. This is a young lady here who went to, yes, and these are your future wives. We have a Ling-Ling here. Shout out to the Ling-Lings. Most Ling-Lings are monetized.
What kind of fuck you give me?
Most Ling-Lings are monetized. All right. You guys don't realize this. All right. This is why they typically are they're either introverted or hella monetized. So we have a Ling-Ling out here with some, I don't know what it is there, what those eyes are doing. Maybe that's a filter. She goes in and out of the marketplace, but she got dropped. She thought she was worth something, but got dropped. Let's play the video here and break it down. Okay, this is her again. She looks familiar.
So I got in a really bad fight with.
All right, she looks familiar. Let me see here if I can slow her down.
My dude yesterday.
All right, here we go.
I got in a really bad fight with my dude yesterday. I just broke up with him, and I just wanted to actually, just since we're here, I'm just gonna go ahead and be open, a little bit more open about what happened, because I feel like this is a good reminder for all of us ladies. So, as you may or may not know, I mean, if you're here, you probably know that I met this man on, I don't know what I keep calling an unconventional dating site, okay? Where I'm seeking a provider, and that provider is seeking someone to provide for.
Let me stop right there. Now, remember, I know the spectrum. She just called it unconventional dating website. Now, remember, I showed a Ling-Ling earlier today. that said she had never been on a date and she's never been in a relationship. She used the exact same phrase, unconventional dating site. She says, I dated unconventionally. Remember when that woman said that? Now, there were some people that said that they were saying the incels said she had a sugar daddy. She never denied that she never had a sugar daddy. She never denied it. But she said unconventionally dated. So you guys got to hear this in order for me to tell y'all. This literally is word for word what that Ling Ling said and what that Ling Ling said. When you hear that, that's called the spectrum. Okay? She said unconditional dating. She said unconventional dating. The other Ling Ling said the same thing. I've never dated, never been in a relationship. I dated unconventionally, though. Woo! Y'all ain't gonna hear me, man. And please do not fight me, guys. Please do not fight me on this. But it is what it is. I'm really in the code breaker. I'm the cheat code here. I'm breaking the code for you guys. And I don't even have to do this because I'm having enough fun. But I'm here. I'm monetized myself. I'm giving y'all the code. She said exactly what the previous Ling Ling said, and them bitches came in and caped for her. Oh, they're calling you a sugar baby. And she literally said the same thing. Okay? So listen.
I don't know what I keep calling an unconventional dating site.
Unconventional dating.
Okay, where I'm seeking a provider, and that provider is seeking someone to provide for.
All right, so people will call that prostitution. These are the coochie commies. Oh, that's a prostitute. Okay, if you want to live with that and it makes you feel better, none of these people, the men participating or the women, consider it prostitution. All right, just so you guys know, I'm trying to help you out here. They never will unless they are victimized by it. All right, they're never going to call themselves a hooker. You might call them a hooker, but they don't think they are one. Neither do you think you're getting a prostitute, but there's certainly some transaction related here. Okay, so here we go.
So I found someone. And going into that whole, type of dating situation, I was not trying to get into a relationship. I really wasn't looking for, I was just, I just wasn't looking for anything actually that would require any type of emotional commitment. But, I met somebody who I thought was really great for me. It was great for whatever, like the time that we had together.
All the fucking. See, she's hemming and hawing around it. I'll tell you what happened. He folded her ass up like a love letter from the goddamn Chinese school, 2nd grade, or Japanese school. He of the time, whatever. I wasn't looking for something emotional. I was just looking for, the whatever. I was wanting a relationship where it was built on and, what we were doing, the time we spent together. You mean when he was fucking the shit out of you? Because that was happening. He was beating them guts. But she done retched around and retched and stretched around and talked about it roundabout. Folded your ass up like origami. And he was definitely over 45 years old. He stretched you. All right. But you don't want to say it. I'll say it for you.
That would require any type of emotional commitment. But, I met somebody who I thought was really great for me. It was great for whatever, like the time that we had together. And then, the second time I would say that we had to deal with conflict. Obviously we're just, I think our attachment styles are just not compatible. And being honest, the reason why I even held on to this relationship probably for a few more weeks than I should.
Relationship. Are you hearing this? And listen, I already know what it is. I'm not telling you like I'm not enlightening myself. I'm telling you, that's how they look at it, relationships. So if they're coming in and out of this as relationships, how do you think they're going to deal with regular old you? How do they think they're going to deal with it? They're going to come back and date you normally, and they're going to be back over to daddy's house. Because once they monetize themselves, once a woman monetizes herself in any way, she cannot unmonetize herself. She's going to go back to, it's kind of like if you work at a bank and then you leave that bank or get fired from that bank and you got to go work for way less money at another bank. They're going to be like, I'm done. They'll never be able to go backwards. So she looks at it as these are relationships. And she's right. They are relationships that you agree upon transactionally. Then she's going to go back to her normal nigga. And if he don't simp enough, she'll be back at daddy's house. All right, but let's continue here.
Should have is because of the emotional security that I thought he was providing for me. Like, I thought that I felt valued and seen and prioritized and, you know, respected to a certain level. And so that's why I was like, okay, like, I really like him as a person. I like the way he, you know, I like the way he takes care of me emotionally. I like the way that he, you know, does whatever, or so I thought. And the reason why I would justify using that reason is because a few weeks ago, we were getting down to the nitty gritty of finances. And just to, like, I mean, this is as transparent as I'll get. He did a great job, like, the first month and a half. Like, I didn't feel that I felt that I was happy. Like, the arrangement, it was perfect.
All right, so let me tell you what that means. She was getting the money she wanted. She was getting the money she wanted. It was a fair exchange. Fair exchange is not a robbery. All right, so he was folding her ass up, hitting them guts raw. All right, nutting in her, and she was taking it down the gullet, and he was giving her the right amount. And she's saying he was taking care of me emotionally. Guys don't realize this. This is how women feel. Oh, he was giving me, I felt secure. I felt protected. He was taking care of me emotionally. He was showing up. But she says spit it out. The thing is, she can't say it directly. She can't say it like I'm telling you, because y'all niggas gonna go crazy. But she's saying, oh, I felt taken care of. He was helping me secure. He was helping me mentally and emotionally and spiritually, because her bills were paid. Her rent was paid. And he was folding her ass up, giving her the choke shit, all of that shit. Choking her, slapping her with his dick. Okay, but this is going to be completely different than what you call prostitution, because she doesn't see it as it. She says, I want someone to take care of me, spoil me, take care of me, support me, provide. Provider. She wanted a provider. I don't want emotional, meaning that she doesn't want to feel like he owned her because he was providing. So she wanted to distance herself from that. You don't own me. I get to come and go as I please. You can see me a couple days a month or a week. You take care of this. We take care of that. Boom. I give you the Duke shoe. I give you the gullet. This is how they're negotiating now. And these are guys, these are regular girls. This is the monetized dating marketplace, and this is worldwide. New world order. This is worldwide. So she can't just say it right off like I'm saying it. But this is what's happening here.
We didn't, unfortunately. Well, actually, it's really not my fault, because I brought it up on the third date before this even became like an official thing. I asked him to come back with a number for me for allowance or something more consistent, because I think the way we were kind of doing it, sorry, my nose is peeling from tretinoin. The way we were doing it is like just whatever I needed, I would just tell him like what I needed, and he would just send me the money. So for me, that wasn't really working for me. Like, it was because I don't want to have to ask every single time. It's pretty annoying.
All right, so another reason they don't want to ask is because it seems like prostitution. All right, so if she has to ask, it's gonna seem like she's working. She doesn't want to feel like that, so she wants allowance. That's how they escape that. Okay, he's paying me allowance. He's taking care of me. It's not a per transaction action. So as long as there's an allowance, so she wants to move and escalate it, and then she wants to take the same amount that she was getting and taking care of on a day-to-day basis. Take care of my nails. Okay, here. Take care of my rent. Okay, here. Or a portion of the rent. Take care of my car. I need new tires. He was like, okay, here. But she got tired of asking, and it's hard for women to ask. This is why there is a gender pay gap. One of the reasons there's a gender pay gap is that women don't negotiate well. They'll put a price on something, but they don't, when they're face to face, they have a hard time negotiating. So she has a hard time face for face asking for something. Okay, so then she wants to escape that and go, let's just have a flat fee for this. Now, this is where she's going to get tossed back into the goddamn sea, which is for you, this is your advantage. By this time, he's got at least 3 nuts. He's got at least 5 nuts in. He's 7 nuts in. He's down the gullet. He in the Duke shoot. One in the pink, one in the stink. He got his thumb up her booty. He done folded her up, skeeted on her neck, back, all of that. Let me just tell you. So her disadvantage is, which is the advantage on the marketplace, he sampled the goods. He took the rental car. And he's rental car'd her ass and drove her around a corner and hit curbs and jumped bumpers. Niggas got speeding tickets. He got tickets on the goddamn bridge, on the Holland Tunnel Bridge. This nigga like, I didn't skirt. He didn't ruin the transmission, returned it back with no gas. He ain't changed no oil. He didn't wipe off the goddamn windshield or nothing, nigga. He turned it back dirty. So for her leverage is lost. She don't have no leverage because he done already defiled this bitch. Nutted in her ear, all of that shit. Plus, yep. He got toll fees racked up on the shit. He like, bitch. So he said, dump the clutch. He done dumped the clutch, transmission slipping, all of that. He don't give a fuck. He cool. And not only that, he got more girls just like her or better. He's like on to the next. But here she comes. You want to keep getting this, you got to up the ante. So now she's going to raise the price on them or up the ante. Let's see how this works. Let's see how this works for her.
So I asked him to come back to me with a number that he feels comfortable with. It took him weeks and several reminders. And when he finally did get back to me, he got back to me over text. And not only did he just get back to me over text, he got back to me with a number that was less than 20% of what I had asked him for.
Okay, all right. So again, ladies, I mean, I'm not trying to correct the ladies. You lose leverage once a man gets sex. All right. Now you gain the leverage, through pregnancy and all of that and false allegations but what he would have paid beforehand, like he took you out to dinners to get one piece of pussy. Once he gets a couple pieces, he take you to McDonald's. He no longer doing the things he did to get you the first time. So you done lost leverage in terms of negotiating power. Your negotiating power has decreased. She then says, you came back with 20% less? And he's like, bitch, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. I'm good. Take it or leave it. And what he's saying is this, and it makes sense, is because he's like, okay, look, I was taking care of these things indiscriminately. Every time you text me, I took care of it. But now that you want a flat fee, why would I pay the same amount if I'm paying it all flat up front? I get a discount, a cash discount. And every business knows to give their people a cash discount if you're paying all of it up front. Furniture stores know this. Car dealerships know this. Every business knows that if I'm going to go, all right, let me lump sum. If I go to, instead of individual payments, I go to lump sum, I get a discount. Drops 20%. Everybody knows this. And if you don't take the deal, trust me, I got many, many women like you. This is the problem. This is the benefit for men on the monetized dating. This is the benefit for men on the monetized dating marketplace. This is where the disadvantage is for the women. So while initially they might get these big hits, once the guy has 3 nuts, decline. All right, her cost, everything's different. The effort's different, and there's more women every week. Every week. So he don't need you like that no more. He already defiled you. He's doing you a favor.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm sitting here, and when I say that, I feel so embarrassed because I've just been so loud about this experience, like sharing it with you guys and stuff, or sharing it with I don't know, just putting it on the internet. And
Yep, because you made him look like a trick. Bragged about him. He doing this, he doing that, he doing this, and he doing that. I got him paying for this, I got him paying for that. All right, Rick Ross's girl did that. He paid for her teeth, and she jumped on the internet and said, this is how you get a man. This is how you get him to pay for this. And Rick Ross said, oh, you got me out here looking like a trick? Cut her ass off. Remember that light-skinned bitch that did that? She tried to take pictures, all the videos, all on this farm, and say this, and this is how I got him to do this, and fly me here and pay for this. but you jumped on the internet and made him look like a trick. Yaga snatched her shit. So she went up there bragging after about, 45 days of coming up, and she got. Okay?
Gotcha, bitch.
Back to life. Back to reality. Back to life. Back to reality. She back to reality, sleeping on her motherfucking couch when she should have been sleeping in a California king bed. Okay? Now you look embarrassed. And now you also embarrassed that he done put one in the pink, his thumb up your booty hole. And the shit that you did, you should be embarrassed, but hey, you're a woman.
General, but I don't care. This is just the reality of it. Like, yeah, unfortunately, like, he put on some type of performance, right? The number that he told me that he could give me for allowance was, I mean, I can't do math. I don't know, like 10% of what he paid for me in the first month.
Exactly.
So it just didn't really make sense to me.
Of course it didn't, but who you gonna get that from? Now you got to find a whole nother big trick now. Because you had the big bag. You had the, oh, my bad. You had the whale. Now, who are you going to get now? So you going to walk away from a 20% discount when you had it in the bag, when you could have took that 20% discount. Now you got to find another one and another one and another one and another one. See, this is the advantage of the monetized dating marketplace. This is where you have the advantage. Because they come in like, all right, I'm going to do, he need me. He doesn't need you. But when you only can fuck who you can, you have to sit up and take her bullshit. She came in with the bullshit and he cut her ass off. Okay, take this discount, take it or leave it. And now she's stuck on stupid. She should have took the discount.
So there we go. So boom, like you can't meet my needs financially, right? And for me in this context, we know on my end, that's number one priority. That's what I'm looking for. So, okay, cool. So I'm already making concessions there.
So what?
A few more weeks goes by. You know, I'm realizing I'm always going to be after his kids. I'm always going to be after even his baby mom if it comes down to it. I'm going to be after his elderly father and mother who need a lot of help. I'm going to be after his work. So where does that leave me? And on
So this is where, again, this is where the normie women come over to the monetized dating marketplace and they think they just going to jump in front of your life. And then they get to tell you what to do. This is where the disadvantage for them. They don't get to tell you what to do anymore. They got to follow your rules. They got to be like, okay, bitch, all right, here's this, but you're going to be fifth in line. And then she'd be like, I'll take that deal until... This is what happens when you're messing with dudes that are mover and shakers and they got priorities. You're not the number one priority. This is not a regular relationship. You even said it wasn't a regular relationship. A regular relationship, the woman gets to jump in there with her feelings and say, I should be number one. You are not, you're in a what? Unconventional dating relationship. You're not number one. You're number last. And that's when my dick needs to get wet. And that's depending on what part of the rotation you're in. Are you number 4 in the rotation? Number 5 in the rotation? Number 10 in the rotation? She might be number 5 in the rotation. And he's like, okay, bitch, take it or leave it. And she was like, I'm going to leave. And he just called back up the dating site and got another woman. All right. But this is the disadvantage. They come over here and play that I got the leverage bullshit. This is why I tell you, leverage and options. You have the leverage.
On top of that, he travels a lot for work.
Oh, he travels a lot too.
Not only do I not have my needs met financially, which is, again, my most important priority, you also are not there for me physically. You're physically not available for me.
Yep.
And now that we're getting into this conversation, he's being very dismissive, very detached, like very...
You're done, ma'am. You're done. Okay. You're done. He's done with you. He's used you up. He done drove you up. Your dirty car. You're cooked. So play your role. Play your position. And you would be good. But you came in and tried to play, I'm number one in this bitch. This ain't Tinder. This ain't Bumble. These aren't regular guys. You're dealing with guys that are movers and shakers.
He just, not interested to engage with the conflict, which I get because he's an avoidant.
No, you don't have to engage in conflict. Guys, in monetized dating, if you're participating as a man, you don't have to engage in conflict. You don't have to. As soon as the conflict comes up, you're like, okay, out of here. You don't have to argue, negotiate, bring her over, whole masculine frame. It's like, all right, you coming over with bullshit? I'm out. Making demand letters and shit. And because then she's problematic. Then the longer you keep her, yeah, you're going to end up in court. The longer you keep her, she's going to start getting emotional and fronting your ass off on the internet. She already been on the internet talking about it. So he like, let me cut my losses now. I got my thumb up her ass. I did it. I nutted in her ear. That's about it. I'm good. Send it back. And he got a whole nother ling-ling, better looking than her, fresher than her, younger than her, ready to go.
But that doesn't work for me. I'm not an avoidant. So, yeah. So, you know, just logically thinking through all these things, as much as, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm not happy about doing it. I don't feel good. But I just know that if I don't do this now, like, I need to make the, like, space for all the energy that I need to now figure out my situation.
Too much work.
Like, I need to, like, I don't know, and just move on from this and just continue on doing what I'm doing. Like,
no, she can't pay her bills. That's what she's figuring out. How I'm going to pay these bills.
With my career and,
yep.
You know, I have a lot of
go back to work.
Amazing things going on.
Go back to work.
So I'm just going to focus on that.
Go ahead.
And I just genuinely believe that if he was the person for me, then this wouldn't be so hard.
He's not.
And, like, I wouldn't feel this way.
A month and a half in, bruh.
And I feel very just it's crazy how with certain people, like, just, I'm not saying he didn't love bomb me at all. Like, that's not how I felt. But it is kind of crazy how someone's feelings can, or, you know, the way someone treats you can flip so quickly.
So they always the victim. He didn't love bomb me. Nope. You guys made a deal. He stuck to the deal. You tried to raise the price and give him a different deal. You tried to bait and switch him. He called your bluff. Bitch back on the couch. That's what he did. And he got what he wanted. You got what you wanted. Nobody was shortchanged. Fair exchange is not a robbery. He gave you a fair deal. You said, bitch, if you want to continue, upgrade. He said, nah, bitch, I'm good. But if you want to stick around, bitch, you can stay down at this lower rate and be number 4 and number 8 in my life. Stay there, bitch. And she said, nah, I'm out. Okay, bye. No divorce, no court, no police, no nothing, nigga. Hey. You got. Gotcha, bitch. He said, take your ass back out there. And now she feeling some type of way. Well, he didn't love bomb me. What did he do? He didn't do nothing. He didn't violate you. You're not a victim. You sealed your own fate. Yep, you reneged on the deal and tried to upgrade and play him like a big mouth, goofy ass bass. And he said, nah, bitch, not today. I can get another one of you tomorrow. Bitch, you can't find another me. You're going to be back on your couch figuring out how to have your income pay the rent. All right, and now you stuck on stupid, trying to figure out what he did.
Based off of, like, a reaction. And, like, that's really scary. And this is not even the first, second, third, fourth time this has happened. I've obviously observed this behavior a lot in men, and clearly there's something that I'm missing here, and I'm gonna have to do a lot of reflecting. I don't know, but
she said it keep happening to me. Same thing keep happening to me. I keep dating high, dating my worth, and I keep getting dumped out here. What happened? What I need to do? I need some self-reflection. Bitch, if you watching this, I'm giving you game. Bitch, learn from me and come over here and drop that neck once in a while, because you look like I can get that neck.
Yeah. So I think I fell for what I thought the relationship was. And now that real conflict has arisen, I'm seeing who he really is.
Oh, what? Wait.
And truthfully, like, over the last couple of days that this fight has been going on. Went on.
There's no fighting at the JUCO, bruh.
I gave him so many opportunities to, like, provide me with what I needed.
You got cooked.
Which I feel, and it wasn't money or anything. I just wanted, like, emotional validation.
Oh, now you want emotional validation. See what happens? This is called backdoor relationship. Just so you guys know. This is a backdoor relationship. So she tried to come in with this finance. This is a lot. This happens a lot. They come in, this transactional, no strings attached, straight up. And then they'll bait and switch and try to backdoor relation you. Yeah.
On a very, 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 very basic level. And I wasn't getting that. So I no longer felt safe.
Safe. Oh, Lord.
and it defeats the whole purpose of why I fell for him to begin with and connected with him.
Oh, that's why you fell for him? It wasn't the money? Okay.
I got money.
You fell for him. Guys, I cannot make this shit up. Guys, I tell you, man, you need to, if you want to join my course, go over there. The link is in the description box. It's floating up, but the stream elements, learn about the JUCO, guys. Again, this is women in a nutshell. No matter what you do for them, they're going to find a way to be the victim. Even when they deal straight up. Oh, but I wanted more, stability, security, safety. Bitch, you wanted the money. That's what you want. That's what you showed up there.
I got money.
You said you wanted financial support in a unconventional relationship. Now you over here, he done hit that bottom, skeeted on you. You trying to backpedal. I swear to God. I got 5 minutes to do these super chats, man. Man, I tell you, man, shout out to the dude. I'm telling you, this is we live in a funny ass world. Now you back out here looking stupid. Now you back out here broke. This is the advantage you have. Shout out to the dictator says, not at that price for these beaches. He says, tell them about the gun line, boss, a.k.a. the JUCO. All right? All right there. Come across that goddamn line. All right? The gun line. Shout out to you, man. Goodness gracious. Venmo is acting up. So for the people that donated on Venmo, I'm going to tell you, I cannot even refresh the screen. So I'm going to come back to it. We got, let's see here. How far am I going back? We got our brother here. It is the Black Bosses in the building. Shout out to you, boss. Tony Ocasio said, what's up, coach? Your earlier live stream about that Ling that had no dating experience reminded me of a Ling that I had over here last October. I'm 28. She's 29. I gave her a massage at my place and banged her. And she said, you're my first time that she got banged. And she said right here, and I'm like, heavy cap at 29. Brothers, they will tell you anything. Oh, you're my first time. First time what? that you got sexed up? Man, Age of Machine seems like that women want to monetize themselves in every engagement they have with men. However, the quality control is horrible. Glad you tell us what really happens and is showing us what they are really thinking. Our experiences mean little in the face of these facts. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's really, really bad out here because they're choosing this. They're going to be the victim after this, though. They're literally going to be the victim after this. And they're going to say, well, I had to do it. Can you explain why legacy guys and trad cons don't view women and their kids like individual human beings and feel entitled to their unconditional love, loyalty, via merit and morality? I can't explain it because I'm on limited time. New CGA quote, if you're getting paid, you're not a slave. Okay, so if she's getting paid from it, she can't say I slaved away and that type of thing. So women, it's a double-edged sword for women. They want to get paid, but then when you pay them, then they can't come out as the victim. They'll eventually still try to do it. All right, NGN has a couple, so please, I hope they're not for explanation. So, you know, I'm going to just read them. As someone who's lived overseas, all women view relationships as jobs already, but they'll use religion card to get dumb men, especially Western men who are obsessed with morality, to think that they love them for them, and men fall for it willingly. If you watch any of these Filipino girls' pages, there's a lot of men that write in and say they getting finessed by these Filipino women. But these Filipino women are cold as a motherfucker. They finessing the shit out of these men. Because these men are lonely hearts. I'm just looking for, and they're 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and they going over to the Philippines, and these women come over there and find these niggas hook, line, and sinker. NGN says, keep up the good work, coach. And he said, thanks for the good tip on the unrealized business strategy from the meet this weekend. For the broke folks, price them out, coach. Let them suffer their own consequences. Join the money mindset, folks. For the walkers only, not the talkers. That's a co-sponsorship. They're just about to get priced out for real on CGA. All right, because at this point, I've already said what I needed to say. I can't help y'all. Shout out to you. Would appreciate you if you, he says, you would appreciate this. Pay at the hole. All right. It's an Instagram. Pay at the hole. When you do that, you know who gets mad? Men. Coochie Commies. I can't even open the link. Okay? But you know who gets mad when you do it? Men. Like, why do men get mad? Okay.
Pussy for the rest of your life.
I'm paying the whole. Yeah, because relationships do not work for me.
I just can't understand why you saying this morning.
I won't be heartbroken, no feelings, hurt, none of that. I pay it the whole. After I pay it the whole, get what I want, they go their way, I go my way.
I'll go that. Yep. You go that way, I go that way, ma'am. You go that way, I go this way. Pay at the whole. All right, shout out to our brother, no government name, says Bama's and Mouthpiece gang PUAs are the biggest losers at Coochie Commies who only shame people who are better than them or have more options than them and promote their low standards expectations, i.e. shame men for not liking low class or fat women. Gen Z men realize this, and nobody's going for it anymore. An easy way to tell someone is a Coochie Commie is that they'll brag about things that they didn't have to work for, which is race or religion, like pro-blacks, Christians, but they belittle tangible achievements like wealth, accolades, like you don't need all that. Yep. Their whole life is like, I didn't pay for that, so I'm a big guy. Wow, I didn't even have to pay for that. I'm so good and people like me that I didn't have to pay for that. All right, Venmo's having some problems, so apologies there. And let's see here. Okay, Venmo's having some problems, so apologies there. That's it for PayPal. And coaching calls, man. Coaching calls have been working great for the people that, you know, they're getting priced out. Coach, man, he out here. Brothers, you've been priced out a long time ago, man. Y'all getting really priced out. So I got a coaching call here, so I got to wrap this shit up. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Shout out to the Coach Gang. JUCO activity to follow. And I got to get some work done. Hit the like button. We out of here. Peace.